And speaking of working out, let's check back in with Joy. Joy, what you got him doing now?
Just really finishing the dynamic, and this is what we would really like to pay attention to before we go out and hit balls. So we're working on opening up the hips, opening up the chest and shoulders.
This is
right?
very
Because so many times in the golf swing, we're always set up in flexion, so we're always loading the hips. We get real rounded, or the shoulders can become protracted. So this is working on two things at once. This is really just a good opener for the hips, chest, and shoulders. And you can see,
balance.
Listen, balance is an issue in golf. So this kind of addresses both things. Can I really find and feel balance? And then can I dynamically open up hips, chest, and shoulders? Do you guys feel that?
Yeah, it feels good. Do we have a goal for the workout today?
Yes, the goal today is as soon as we're done with this dynamic, we're going to work on 3 parts of the golf body, and we're going to cut them up into pieces. From the ground up to the hips. Hips really are called, we work on the pelvis, and then the torso and the arms. So we got 3 different goals that we're going to address, identify. Can you feel them? Do you know what to do with them? And how do we bring them to the golf course?
Nice.
All right, so let's finish off with the last 2 moves, okay?
Sure.
And really all we're going to finish with here is a lateral step, a load, and a turn. A lateral step, a load, and a turn. All right, so we want you to activate the left side of your body, right? Feet together, take a step, squat, load, and turn.
Playing baseball over here.
Because really that's what and how we finish the golf swing. You got to be able to post up on the left. You hear that term a lot. You've got to get to the left side. You've got to activate, create some stability, and then rotation happens in the golf swing. So these are very easy, common moves that you can do to teach the golf brain. This is how it should feel in the golf swing. And remember, what you do to the left, and you and I talked about this, you have to do to the right. Because the golf body very much like tennis and like baseball can become a very one-side dominant sport where the opposite side of the body doesn't get the opportunity to understand it must be prepared to handle the stresses and loads that you put on it.
Well, so much of my life in traveling, a lot of times I'm carrying my bag with my right shoulder, I'm pulling my bags with my right shoulder. My whole life is not in balance, and this helps get in balance, right?
Very much so. So what you'll hear us refer to on the show today is what you do to the right, make sure you do to the left, and vice versa if you're a left. We don't forget the left-handed players. So left side, then you have to work the right side. So we'll actually start on some golf-specific awareness drills first from the ground up. You hear that term, let's feel our feet underneath us.
What's next?
So what we're going to do next is we're basically going to walk over here. We're going to get some bands. Okay? And for you, we're going to put the blue. For Matt, because he's a big, strong guy, we're going to go with yellow.
Nice.
So what I want you to do is I'll actually put one on to kind of show you what I want you to do at home. And this is just regular tubing. You can get this anywhere, but this is how you really start to feel the ground and the lower body show up in the golf swing. So just put it on, step in, create a little loop so the band doesn't slide up and down the legs.
Okay.
And once you get it on, what we're going to do is we're going to create some activation and awareness in the golf body. Okay? So when you see somebody set up with a driver in her hand, what do you think that they're doing? Why do they create more width, right? Why do you create width with the driver?
It's a longer club.
Swing,
it's a longer club, right? It requires more range of motion, but also you wouldn't swing a driver with your feet with a little narrow chipping stance, right? So more awareness of what happens from the ground up to the hips. So what I want you guys to do is start in the middle, step right, step left, and then squat and load, right? So these are very simple, safe, and effective moves to create awareness of what happens when your golf instructor says, I need you to be more connected to the ground.
And this right here is going to do it. I love it.
Yes, we'll feel that. Let's get back together and do a couple more. Step right, step left. Create a really good flexion in your pelvis, and then go ahead and squat down and load your legs. So this is one of those things where we talked about that question before, the 50-50. You see this as a common move in a gym. People do a squat. They use a ball, they use a bar, they use dumbbells. Well, for golf, you don't necessarily need those tools, but you do need little things like this that we use out on tour that help players create strength awareness, stability, balance, and things that work like that.
Perfect. While we work on all of that, we got to send it right back over to Kelly Tillman for more. Kelly, we got our work cut out over here for us.
Here's what I've learned. Balance is key, and Matt Ginella just told us his whole life has been out of balance.
That's something that we've known here for a long time at Morning Drive, but now the viewer knows it also.